Hi, Rowan and Emily here with you, Tip Tuesday.
Joined today with certified financial planner Eric Gibson. We are so happy to have you here today. A lot of times our buyers are wondering if, purchasing is a good financial investment. Should they be speaking to you before they actually make a home purchase?
No, they should just wing it, probably is a better choice. I'm joking. I mean, buying a house is one of the biggest financial decisions we make in our life. And it's so funny to me how often we do this without, talking to our advisors, whether it's your tax advisor or your financial advisor. It's going to influence so many other things. I really think it's wise to sit down with your advisor, and you're not going to be able to call 1-800-investment.com to do this. It's going to have to be a real person that knows you and knows your situation and can provide some sounding board for that.
So when you sit down with possible buyers, do you kind of lay out a plan for them? Should they expect to have their home payment only be a certain percentage of their income?
Yeah, when you're talking to the mortgage person or you're talking to the financial advisor, you'll probably get different advice about this. You're always going to qualify for more house than you should probably responsibly buy. A good rule of thumb to think about is, 25% of your take-home pay should go towards your housing. Some people say 33%, but somewhere in that range where, a quarter to a third of your take-home, no more, should be going towards your mortgage payment.
Well, I think that's great advice. We're always reminding buyers to remember that they're going to need a lawnmower and probably furniture, and that things are going to come up that they're not used to.
Yeah, and that brings up a good point too, because that's a totally different issue. Obviously, the lawnmower or the new furnace next year is not inside your mortgage payment. So on top of paying for your regular fixed expenses related to housing, you're going to need to be ready for those surprises. And if the house is fairly new, you can follow this what's called a 1% rule, where you put 1% of the value of the home aside in a designated fund for surprises. So if it's a $300,000 house, that's $3,000 a year or $250 a month, and you can just set that up on automatic. If the house is a little bit older or there's some bigger projects you're going to want to tackle on that, maybe you go to 2%, and then it also becomes your next kitchen fund if there's enough in there to survive a surprise air conditioning unit.
And it's a very competitive market right now, and buyers are scrambling to figure out ways to make their offer the strongest. And some of the buyers are actually considering taking from their retirement funds. Is this something that you would recommend?
It's as the way you ask the question implies, it's kind of a thin ice area. You certainly can do it. There's rules around IRAs that are different from Roth IRAs, that are different from 401ks, but all of them allow, especially first-time home buyers, to make purchases from them. Now, I'm not an attorney or a CPA or anything, and there's a lot of tax and legal issues here, so you'll need to talk to your advisors about this. But regardless of which type of account you have, you're basically borrowing / stealing from your future self by using that for the real estate. So if you're really in fantastic shape for retirement and your advisor's begging you to retire early, maybe then it's not such a big deal. If you're early on in your career and you're just starting to build up your retirement funds, you might want to think twice about taking from that too early to make a purchase, and think about, is this purchase overextending my means, and come up with a different way to make that purchase, or maybe look for a smaller house.
Well, thank you so much for being here today, Eric. And thank you so much to all of you for tuning in. That was today's Tip Tuesday. We'll see you again next week.